And live on location from the Rancho Bernardo Inn. The day has finally come. It is the second annual-ish Ben & Woods Open. And we are so happy to be here.
Annual-ish.
Annual-ish Open. I'm Woodsy. To my left is Ben Higgins. He's your friendly neighborhood sports anchor.
Good morning. There's something special about pulling up at a golf course with all the golf carts lined up, ready to go.
Yes.
For all of our competitors today at the Ben & Woods Open. Looking forward to seeing all the Tier 1s out here. It's a little early still. It's a little chilly, but it should be a spectacular day out here.
It looks like it's going to be one for the books. Yesterday was beautiful. Today should be even a little bit better. To Ben's left is Paul Reindl, who is our executive producer. He's also trying to make sure that we're on YouTube and up and running. And I guess I should apologize to my teammates right out of the chute for what I subjected them to this morning on my laptop. So I do apologize.
Inappropriate.
Slightly, yep.
To be sure.
Yeah, that was something.
Inappropriate.
I used to work with another guy that did that at work.
Yeah, the difference is that it wasn't live while, on a commercial break. It was a residual, was left over.
Yeah.
Now, that wasn't one of those actual, employment sites.
It's a job interview site.
I see.
Essentially. Yes.
Like Indeed.com or ZipRecruiter, maybe?
There's an element of that to it. It's a job interview.
I hope it's a high-paying gig that they landed at that job that they were interviewing for.
Right. I think the thing is that there is no job.
There's no job.
That's the catch.
There's no job? What kind of storyline is that?
That seems legally and morally questionable.
Yes.
It's like a bait and switch.
It's the old bait.
You come in for a job interview, and instead something entirely different happens.
Something entirely different. Something that maybe you weren't even expecting. And then we'll let you know. Imagine going into interview. And that's your interview.
These poor girls, they weren't expecting
We're not.
that.
No.
Oh,
so
that's. I think these guys need to be investigated by HR.
Probably several HR violations.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics is going to be here soon, too.
The old BLOS. BLS. Excuse me. Well, it is
on that note.
How in the name of God are you wearing shorts right now? I am frozen to the bone.
It's just my legs don't get cold. They're nice.
Packed with meat.
I got flip-flops. I got to get the calves exposed at the Ben & Woods Open. They don't like to get covered up, Woods. You know that.
Well, I mean, you could have worn pants and switched into shorts when it hit 55 degrees. It is 40-something degrees, but, man, you can tell. You're looking around. The moon is right behind us. You can tell it's going to be a spectacular day. And, honestly, some golfers, some of our clients should be arriving imminently this morning. They're going to be teeing off early at 7 o'clock, and then we're going to recycle the whole thing through. All the Tier 1s will be here at 1. If you're coming out today and you're playing, people have been asking, when should I show up? Yeah, I'd say anywhere between 11 and 12. At the latest, because we're going to tee off at 1, but you want to get some putting in. You want to get some range time in. The range is not the biggest range in the world, but that's okay. We'll make do and get guys out there warming up and stuff.
Shelley asked that same question last night, and I didn't know the exact answer. I said, I think 11:45 feels kind of good. I mean, you got an hour and 15 minutes.
I'm an early bird, so I say 11. But
get something to eat. We got some Jersey Mike's coming today for our afternoon wave. You have a chance to putt. You can loosen up a little bit.
Yeah. You sound. Are you okay? Because you sounded like you were.
That's some allergies. I'm actually feeling a little bit better now. I had trouble sleeping last night, but maybe that's just the anticipation and the excitement that I was feeling. It's like almost like Christmas morning for us.
Yeah,
here
it is
at the Ben & Woods Open.
We've been waiting a long time to get this thing going, and I had 2 old fashions last night, just 2. And was like stumbling into my room. I was like, man, I have no tolerance anymore. 0. And like I said, I had 2. I woke up this morning. I'm like, do I have a drinking problem? This is the second time I've been hungover on the air in like a week. Once after opening day.
Yeah, your problem is you're not very good at drinking.
I'm not very good at drinking anymore. I have 0 tolerance for it. But
what did you sop it up with?
Well, I had that burger,
Saw that.
and then when I got back to my room, I had a couple of Chessmen cookies and some Cheez-Its and some water. But I woke up this morning, I was like, ugh, just felt poopy.
Can I shout out the happy hour here at the sports bar at Rancho Bernardo Inn? Really great deal. 2 to 5 o'clock. $5 beers, $5 small plates. I had the wings. They had chips and guacamole. They had hummus. It was
you had 3 appetizers.
I had 3 $5 appetizers. Why wouldn't you when you can just load
beer,
up?
That's $20. That's
I know.
That's a hell of a night.
I got a great deal for $20. That was fantastic yesterday.
That's incredible. We had some interesting goings on overnight that I want to talk about today. They have to do with our young Prince Fernando Tatis Jr.
God,
I was
how
a
did that look?
little surprised to wake up to some of that this morning, but if you haven't heard, he's okay. There's nothing to worry about.
He hit
an absolute tank. Yeah,
bomb.
Hit a tank off of a kid, and then that guy went to Twitter and opened his mouth a little bit. It's going to be an interesting season for Fernando Tatis Jr. It really is, and we as Padre fans, look, we have defended way worse players than Fernando Tatis Jr. You can bet your ass that we are certainly going to assemble the cavalry and ride for that kid. So should be an interesting show today. We can talk about that. Listen, Ben, I know you're dying to get to the basketball game last night, your beloved Lakers. I figured what better time than this morning in our very short 2-hour broadcast to cover the basketball team in Los Angeles.
They got smacked down by Kawhi Leonard and Norman Powell, the San Diego connection of the Clippers. I was kind of expecting it on the second day of back-to-backs after they went overtime against the Jazz the night before, but Anthony Davis was out there. I'll give him credit for not sitting out with 3 games to go because he doesn't like to play in back-to-back games considering how critical it is, but knock the Lakers back into the play-in tournament at the moment. They'll need to win their last 2 and get some help to get out of the play-in tournament, but they are at the very least going to be in the play-in tournament. So they are a playoff team. They've clinched at least that.
So congratulations to Anthony Davis for nutting up and playing in a basketball game.
2 days in a row.
2 days in a row. When I come in 2 days in a row, I want a pat on the back from you. That's what I want. I look at Woodsy. He's here Monday. He's here Tuesday. The guy's probably going to be here Wednesday. And, this is what we're doing now.
Hey, you don't have to drag Bill Lambier up and down the court.
You know what? Neither does he. It's not 1983 anymore. Hey, shut up, kid.
I'm also following as best I can out here. It's kind of killing me a bit, but the Masters is underway.
Is it?
In Georgia. It's they've only had like 3 or 4 groups teeing off early this morning. There's only one player under par.
Okay.
His name is Matthew McLean. He's an optometrist from England,
as we all picked,
who won an amateur tournament to get into the Masters, and he's the only player under par right now at Augusta National Golf Club. If you want a story that you're guarantee you won't be around on Sunday, it'll be Matthew McLean. But can you imagine that story when you go back and you can tell all your friends, hey, I led the Masters by myself.
He's texting his wife. Get a effing screenshot right now. Get the screenshot. Get it to the printer. Have it printed. Yeah, dude, that's a cool story. You had a fun hypothetical that we can kick around later too. We can kick it around whenever you want. I don't care. We're at a golf course. We're going to talk some golf today. So sorry about it.
Yeah, it was a good one. One of my friends that went to Pinehurst with me texted last night. He said he saw this going around. And I thought about it, and I go, that's an interesting one. So take an average amateur golfer, you, Woods, Paul, me, your dad, Gary.
Yep.
And you get to tee off from 100 yards out on every hole at Augusta National.
Yeah.
Even like the par
fives, everything, 100 yards out.
But then everything else is tournament conditions.
Okay.
You got the speed of the greens, you got the bunkers, everything
the
out
rough,
there. You
all
got
of it.
The fans,
the crowd,
the patrons. It's all set up just like the tournament for everybody else. Could you win the Masters from 100 yards out on every single hole?
I'll go
4 days.
I'll go you one further. I wouldn't make the cut. I would not make the cut from 100 and in. I would not make the cut. against those guys.
See,
There's
like
no
on a par
chance.
5, all you'd have to do is put it on the green, 2-putt. That's an eagle.
Yeah, for sure.
That's an eagle. Like, you got 4 eagles right there on a little 100-yard shot.
Yep.
With nothing. I mean,
I wouldn't make the cut, man. 100 yards is my least
so,
favorite distance.
You're not hitting the green on your first shot.
No, you're blading it over, or
And
you're
then
chunking it short.
Maybe on your second one you hit the green, but then it rolls off.
Correct.
So now you're 3. Got to hit it onto the green,
And you got
then
a
you're
2-putt.
a minimum 2-putt,
On
probably a 4-putt.
on a hockey rink that's painted green.
I put a
with
lot of
flag
thought
in it.
into this. So essentially, it's a par 54 course if everything's 100-yard par 3, a short par 54 course. If you could shoot 14 over
At 68.
on each day, that would be a 68.
You're in
That
contention?
would probably be enough to win at 16 under in most Masters. They don't get that low on most Masters. So if you could just shoot 14 over every day, that means 4 pars, 14 bogeys. Hey, even if you made a double or a triple, you can par half of those holes.
Tiger Woods made a 10 on a hole out there.
I get
Tiger
it.
Woods.
I get
a
it.
10.
I think there is a level of amateur that would be able to win in those conditions.
You and my dad, I'd put money on at least making the cut. Me and Paulie, from 100 in, Paulie's hitting he's hitting his 50 yards past. I'm blading mine through. Like there's no chance. And then you got to make putts on those dastardly greens. Greens out here, by the way, if you're coming out to play, you better strap in, dude. These are no joke out here. This course is in dynamite shape this morning.
Good.
It looks so good. Keep it in the fairway. The rough is nasty. Almost broke my wrist 3 times yesterday.
I've never played Rancho Bernardo Inn when I thought I was at Torrey Pines when I missed the
real.
The fairway. But it is the rain we've had has made everything so lush and green here in San Diego, and the golf courses are benefiting from that because this course is in spectacular shape right now.
The sun is starting to poke out. It's going to be a magnificent day. So listen, if you're coming down, come down early, man. Let's spend some time together, hang out. It's going to be a really, really fun day. And again, let's thank our sponsors for all the hard work that they put in. Maestro Dobel Tequila, Bushmills, on and on the list goes. Benny, do you have him in front of you?
Well, I don't have him in front of me. We'll come back and we'll talk
Okay.
about some of our sponsors. Some of the prizes will be given away
Yeah,
today. We have
incredible.
an amazing raffle that you can enter when you're down here with some spectacular prizes that were donated. So we'll get through some of those as well. Get everybody excited for the second annual Ben & Woods Open at Rancho Bernardo Inn. It's Thursday, April 6th. We are out here, going to be out here all day long. Two rounds. We're going to be here until sunset and beyond.
Oh yeah,
all day long from sunrise to sunset and after. Look at that moon set behind us right now. It's looking spectacular out here. Woods has a daily ditty pick. We got Frank back in the studio running the controls as well. Paulie's here.
I forgot to say hi to Italian Paul.
Say hi to Italian Paul.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Good morning, Frank.
Good morning.
All right.
All right, well,
Fair enough.
F you too then.
We'll be back with more after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
do and appreciate Lou Reed. It's very weird. It's very weird. I couldn't stand him for 46 years. And now I listen to Lou Reed all the time.
I'm not familiar with this song. He's Take a Walk on the Wild Side,
That's
though.
his biggest hit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know that one.
This is Perfect Day. And I thought, what better time to play Perfect Day on the radio than right now? Today is going to be exquisite in every manner. We played yesterday here, and it was like 71. I think today's actually going to be a little bit warmer. I mean, I got to the room after. I was pretty cooked. A lot of sunshine, a little bit of wind towards the end, but, man, it was really fantastic.
We're not used to it in this rainy part of the country that we live in down here in San Diego, California, after so many months of clouds and
deluge.
Wet weather. Yeah, this is perfect conditions out here this morning. And I did
My
get
buddy flew down from Seattle, and he goes, "Oh, it's gorgeous today." I go, "It's the first good day we've had in, I don't know, a month."
I got to tell you, man,
2 months?
when we started putting this thing together, obviously you're so far out, you're like, yeah, we'll be good. And then for 90 days straight, it poured rain, and people building arks in their backyard and rounding up animals and stocking up on canned goods and bottled water. I'm like, we're going to get rained out. We're going to get rained out. We're going to get rained out. And man, to have it look like this week is just such a blessing. So grateful.
Speaking of putting this all together, couldn't do it without the help of some great sponsors. I wanted to thank.
Yep.
Not out here yet this morning, but they will be. Game Day CBD, Jersey Mike's, Virgin Beer Company, Computers to Kids, Maestro Dobel Tequila, Bushmills Irish Whiskey, Coastal Fire and Integration Systems, Cobra Golf, Travis Matthew, Daily Engineering, and Sombreros Mexican Food. Thank you all for your support of the second annual Ben and Woods Open, which I think has become the official title now.
Title, yep.
I like that it gives us some flexibility.
Yeah,
like
we're not committed.
Hey, if we don't want to do it next April, we can wait another
we
few
might
months.
do one in 2024.
We might not.
We might not.
We might do another one this year.
Yeah, you might.
You never know.
Yeah, because we skipped the one last year. It was too hard to just get it all together. So we're like,
well, we did it in November in 2021, and we thought, we want more of a spring summer date, but we didn't want to put another one together in like 5 or 6 months. So we thought, let's just wait until 2023 to get this going again.
And kudos to our pal Jay, who we obviously couldn't run this thing without. My old producer from the very first show I was ever on. This is where this is his side business where he does, staging and things like that. Isbell Productions. If you want a guy that's going to bust his tail for you and make sure your event looks as good as ours does, Jay will do that for you. Our promo ladies in from LA this morning, thank you so much for being out here, frozen to the core. It's just everybody pitching in to help out. Where's Adam? I haven't seen Adam yet. I thought he'd be out here early pitching in. I guess he decided.
I think he said around 6:30 that he'd be here soon. So we'll see him shortly.
Guy, just sleep in a little bit. It won't hurt you. It's fine. We'll see you at the next one, 2026.
He lives
a block
5
from
minutes
here.
away.
Yeah, where is that guy? He's gonna come here. He's just gonna stand. You need me to do anything? No, just wanted you here. Wanted you nearby.
Have him hold our lamp for
a
us.
Show of solidarity.
Just
That's it. No big deal. All right, what do you want to do here? Do you want to talk about the incident?
Yeah, let's talk about that because we might get some reaction, and Padres fans might want to discuss that this morning. So let's get started. I didn't see this last night. I was sniffing with allergies all night, and you saw what happened on Fernando Tatis Jr.'s second AAA game last night as he continues his process of finishing up his suspension and returning to the Padres later this month.
So not to shout out your competition, but we all like Darnay very much. Darnay Tripp, also a sports TV man like yourself, been in this town. And he tweeted this.
He's a good dude.
He is a phenomenal dude. Father of twins, I believe. So my heart goes out to him. He tweeted last night, 10 hours ago, Cade McClure will be telling people for years about the time he gave up an absolute nuke to Fernando Tatis
So
Jr.
Tatis homered.
Yes.
In his set. He had a good first game the other night, and last night he had a home run in his second game in AAA.
I want to say 407 feet is the total. I mean, he murdered it. There's no question. So Darnay tweets that, and
so Darnay, did he talk to Cade and knew he said, I'm gonna remember this forever.
Oh,
I'm honored
absolutely
to give
not.
up a home run to Fernando Tatis Jr.
I think it was a big assumption on Darnay's
part.
part.
So you made a bit of an assumption.
He did.
I try not to do that at Channel 10, but that's fine. If you want to get assumptions, go ahead. Check out Channel 7 and Darnay with just the wild assumptions
You are stone
out there.
cold. My God.
But we love Darnay. He's great.
Ben Higgins calls Darnay Tripp a massive hack on his radio show. Darnay, we love you, dude. You're phenomenal. So he did. He said, yeah, he's going to be telling people for years. And I think, there is an element of that. Like, if you've got a war story, one time I beat so-and-so on a hole of golf, or, I got my ass kicked by this big hitter that plays in AAA.
You talk to old pitchers like Randy Jones.
Oh,
and
yeah.
while they didn't like when they gave up a home run, they love to tell the story of the time that,
Dave
a
Parker
legendary
got him,
guy got him. There's no harm in that. They got everybody. That's why they were
they're
Hall
good.
of Fame players.
Well, so I woke up and I saw this, and I went, no, this can't be. This isn't right. Verified account, Cade McClure tweets last night. Cheater hits home run on a rehab assignment during a steroid suspension. And I went, oh, man, holy smokes.
Let me ask you got it up right here?
Yeah.
When I went to bed last night, it had I think 7 retweets and 31 or 32 retweets. I checked this morning when I got up. It was a lot higher than that. What's it at now?
What's that
ratio?
We have the official ratio as of right now, 102.3 thousand views. You've got 448 comments. You got 321 retweets, and you got 861 likes and counting for this young man. Listen, what I'll say is this: I hope Cade McClure never gets ringworm, because it's very itchy. It's very contagious. You're going to drag this young man through the mud for treating
skin
condition.
Poor kid.
Just itchy neck.
Oh,
God, I couldn't believe this.
I'm surprised, though. I totally expect this from some opposing fans over the course of the season. But generally among baseball players, there are some things that they don't touch with each other. Everyone runs into some problems over the course of their career.
Well, don't touch his neck because you'll get ringworm.
There's a professional courtesy that you usually see
100%
among baseball players, like don't go after certain things.
Yep.
And so I was surprised to see that. Now, this is a minor leaguer,
career minor leaguer,
triple A guy. Yep. And maybe that's something you learn once you get to the big leagues, that, hey, we have a professional respect kind of up here. We don't do that sort of thing to each other. But
pitchers over the years have been the ones that have been more loose-lipped about it. They're the ones that feel that they're the ones getting the short end of the stick, except in his case, in his organization, their ace, Logan Webb, same deal. Got popped for PEDs as well.
He had ringworm too?
I don't think his was ringworm. His was something else. But what happens is there's not one organization in baseball that's infallible to this. Not one. So it's kind of a dumb argument. It's kind of like, well, everybody has a list of guys. Also, I don't know if you guys know this. He's in the San Francisco Giants organization. The San Francisco Giants. Let that sink in for
never had any controversy like that in the past.
Which, by the way, what have I always said on these airwaves? Who's the greatest hitter I've ever seen? It's Barry Bonds, and it's not even close for me. Barry Bonds is the best hitter I've ever seen in my life. The man had one pitch a week to work with. What did he do with it? He hit it out of the ballpark every single week for decades. And I don't really diminish what he was able to do, and I don't really diminish what any of these guys have been able to do. So that's a bold strategy for that young man last night, especially in that organization. And he knows Logan Webb too. Logan Webb got popped a few years ago. I don't look at Logan Webb and go, "You cheater! You're cheating the game." He took something, probably trying to recover, like all these guys do.
I had completely forgotten that even happened.
Exactly.
Let's take a time out. I would like to talk about how you want to see Fernando Tatis handle this season. React, don't react. I mean, how do you
keep hitting bombs?
That would be great. But and if you want to join us, 833-288-0973. Call in. Italian Paul answering the phones back in our studio as we're live out here, the Rancho Bernardo Inn, for the second annual Ben and Woods Open. getting underway pretty early here for our first wave, and then the rest of the Tier 1s. We'll see you in a few hours. Looking forward to it on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Cade
Cade.
of the Giants organization,
Cade.
pitching for the Sacramento River Cats last night.
His name is Cade McClure.
Cade McClure.
Yeah, man.
Kind of like your friend we played golf with
That's
yesterday.
Pat McClure. Yep.
They might be related somehow.
But it's funny because people go through his Twitter account and they found a tweet from him last year, and it says, "I'll give you the most famous line in sports. If you don't like it, play better." And those tweets will come back to bite you in the ass when you get a little salty. Hey, listen, no pitcher likes giving up a home run. No, I mean, if you like giving up a home run, you're probably in the wrong business. But I thought that was a bit out of line.
He may feel differently in 15 years.
Yeah.
Maybe it's still the sting of, he's trying to make the big league someday, and giving up home runs to big leaguers who are down on a rehab assignment isn't going to help his cause for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
So if you want to react, 833-288-0973. All guests on Ben and Woods appear on the Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad fan hotline. Save money the right way with Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad. Visit them today in the Carlsbad Auto Mall. Chevrolet, find new roads.
So if you throw 92 down the middle, ringworm cream, steroid cream or not, those guys are going to handle it. All of them. There's not a guy in baseball at those levels that's not going to be able to hit 92 down the middle. And that's what it was. It was a meatball down the middle. Don't know how much it had to do with the cream that he applied to his body a year and a half ago, whatever it was. I doubt very much that that's the case. Fernando Tatis Jr. has been, for a long time, a very, very elite athlete that puts a lot of work into his body. We've had the conversation on this show so many times, it kind of makes me sick to have it again. Even if it was a needle full of the world's strongest steroids, means nothing. I mean, still, it's not a magic punch. It's not a magic solution. You don't take it and go, oh my God, I'm now a power hitter. It just doesn't work that way.
Syringe or anything that could make me all of a sudden some elite baseball player.
Or even an elite baseball player has to barrel up a ball to hit it out of the ballpark.
Well, I mean, and again, you gotta. It can help with recovery, absolutely. And I did a lot of research on clostebol back at the time, and mixed with another type of testosterone. Sure, it can help you recover. He had a wrist. He had a shoulder. He had all these things. He wanted to get back to the big leagues. It's the same thing, in my opinion, at least, what Andy Pettit did.
Ringworm.
No ringworm for Andy. Andy got himself hurt, and he said, I wanted to be back on my team. I feel terrible about it. I took a shortcut. But Andy Pettit didn't go from throwing 93 to 103. It doesn't really work that way. And I think people that are, intelligent about it. And by the way, Cade knows that. He knows that. He's been around the game long enough. He's pitched with enough guys that have been popped. He knows that.
I mean, and again, it does impact things like the Hall of Fame case.
Sure.
A guy like Roger Clemens, who was already a Hall of Fame pitcher, but does he pitch into his 40s as a power pitcher the way he does without a little extra help? I can't say for sure
I can't
that
either.
He lasts that long.
I can't either, but his hero was Nolan Ryan, right? And so Nolan, as far as any of us know, never put anything in his body other than like cow meat that he cut himself and like drank its blood. And I mean, I watched the Nolan documentary. The work ethic, though, that Roger had, that he took from Nolan. I heard Clemens used to throw CG and then go ride like 15 miles on a bike and do squats after every start. Like, he was psychotic. But you are able to recover from that workout if you're on something. Yes, it allows you to continue to work harder.
Yeah, there's a perception that taking steroids is the easy way out. Like, oh well, these guys have been working really hard. This guy takes steroids, just sits around on a lounge
smokes
chair
cigarettes
all day,
playing Xbox in the
that's
clubhouse.
Not true. I'm not excusing it, but I do feel like there is a misperception.
There is.
Among some fans about how the whole thing works and what's going on behind the scenes.
Well, what it boils down to, I think, at the end of the day is okay. I mean, take your shots. You're going to, last year at Dodger Stadium, the syringe and all that. Look, you're going to take your shots, absolutely, and I think he's going to be okay with it. He seems to be a kid that thrives on like kind of the doubters and the haters, and we all saw his tweet to Barry Bloom years ago when Barry said, "Hey, he's batting 125 in April," and he responds, he goes, "Talk to me in September." He kind of thrives on that a little bit. So I say more. I say more more hate, more vitriol towards that kid. I think it's just going to make him better.
All right, we're going to get out to some phone lines after a quick check of traffic here with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
From the premier Buick GMC of Carlsbad Traffic Center, part of the Premier Auto family, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad. Got a collision on the southbound 163 at Genesee. It's over the right shoulder, but looks like fire crews have got that right lane blocked. Also, a surface street accident, intersection of Arrow Drive and Murphy Canyon, couple vehicles blocking lanes. And on the southbound side of the 67 at Mount Woodson, a collision over to the right shoulder. Just a reminder, guys, westbound lanes of the 78 now open between College and El Camino Real, but it's the eastbound side, and we warned you about this, that is now closed, all lanes between El Camino Real and College until at least April 26th for that same project, pothole repairs. So yeah, just factor that in, give yourself a little extra time if that is normally your route. Coach Quintera and Joe Musgrove's Choice, they're a different kind of dealership looking to be a solid community partner and deliver excellent service. Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad, Chevrolet, find new roads. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, 833-288-0973 as we continue on live here at Rancho Bernardo Inn. It's the Ben and Woods Open today. Let's go out to Matt in San Diego. Matt, you're on with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan. Good morning.
Morning, guys. How's it going?
Good, Matt. How you doing?
Good. I just wanted to talk about how Fernando should respond to what he's going to have thrown at him this season, and I think the crux of it is he just cannot respond either way. He cannot respond to any negative stuff thrown at him because it's just not a good look, and it's also just going to bring way more negative attention towards him. Think about kind of how the Astros responded to the trash can banging situation and kind of the ego they responded with, and it's just not a good look. The only way he can respond is with his play, and I think one of the underrated aspects of the Nelson Cruz signing is he has the picture-perfect example of how to respond to a PED suspension, and that's play. And now Nelson Cruz, it's there. That the steroid story is there for Nelson Cruz, but it's not as big a deal as it is what he's done since. What he did with Seattle and what he did with Minnesota. That's more of the story. So that's all Fernando can do. Fernando can play. He's got to understand if he doesn't play well starting, he's going to hear it. He can't respond to it. He can't make it a story. If he plays well, I don't think he can respond to it either. I don't think he can, show up or anything because, you can't flex on your own adversity that you created to yourself by, at minimum, being an idiot or, at worst, cheating. And again, like we're talking about, we are moving past steroids being this, oh my God, worst case scenario. He did not murder anybody. He took steroids, which is not as bad as it's been made to be in the steroid era, in the Bonds, McGuire, Canseco era, but it's still very clearly cheating and very clearly something you're not supposed to do. And I do think, I just kind of want to say, I think you guys might be writing off his actions a little bit too easily. I personally do not buy the ringworm story. I think it's awfully convenient that a guy with chronic injuries suddenly had this story, but also didn't really appeal it very hard or never provided the ointment or anything. And so I do think being the main voice of San Diego sports, you guys do have a little bit of responsibility to hold his feet to the fire a little bit more. Because at minimum, he made a very stupid decision that cost his team a potentially shot at a World Series. Because yes, you made it to the NLCS without him, but a player like that, that could be the difference.
Matt, you got to understand in the Open today, that was tongue firmly planted in cheek. If you go back and listen to when this all happened, I was calling bodybuilders. I was asking all the questions that I needed to ask to say, and everyone said to him, man, oh yeah, he mixed a couple things together and he wanted to get back on the field. Oh yeah, he knows he screwed up. Here's what I'm not going to do for the next 15 years: beat this kid over the head about taking this. I never thought it was a ringworm treatment cream that suddenly helps you recover. I know that. I'm not dumb, and we've been saying that for a long time. Today was mostly a joke. Saying, it was tongue in cheek, saying, "Oh, are you going to rake this kid over the coals for getting ringworm?" No, we've made very clear our position on it. But again, I'm not going to rake the kid over the coals. Like you said, he didn't murder anybody. He's over it. They're going to test him like crazy now for the rest of his life. That's something he's going to have to worry about. He's going to have to put in the work. He's shown to do that. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of forgive and forget and move on to the next step. At least for me, other people are going to feel differently, and that's okay.
Matt, I'd like to say that was one of the most intelligent,
Very great call,
well thought out, well argued and reasoned phone calls that I've heard in a long time. It was not over the top. I think you had a great perspective on it. You brought in great examples, Nelson Cruz being one of them, and I think part of what you were saying there resonated with me when what Nelson Cruz has done, he didn't do in 3 months. He didn't do in 6 months, not one season. He's had to do it quietly, essentially over a decade, since his suspension. Just keep putting up numbers until at some point you just have to acknowledge and go, okay, this is who this player is. Whatever he did in his past, it was so long ago, we cannot do anything but accept that Nelson Cruz is one of the best hitters, especially right-handed hitters of his generation, right? And you really lose a lot of the taint of the steroid suspension that he had from
what?
Because he's done it for so long.
His taint.
Whoa.
Why are you talking about Nelson Cruz's taint this morning?
But and it's a reminder for Fernando
Shock
Tatis
jock.
Jr. He could be the MVP this year, and he will still have doubters.
Oh yeah,
but if he puts up numbers for the next 7 years, then it will kind of go away the way it has sort of gone away for Nelson Cruz.
Conversely, you're going to have idiots in the comments every time he hits a home run.
like this guy right here in our YouTube channel.
Yes, just like that guy.
Art. Yeah, listen, I mean, I thought that maybe that Matt would have picked up on my sarcasm earlier, but he did not. Need to be more careful with my sarcasm.
Well, we are San Diego's leading sports voices.
He said it. He said it. I didn't say it. So I'm make that Paulie, can you make that into a promo later on today, please? That made me very happy. Thank you, Matt. For great
Is that
call.
a responsibility we really want to entrust?
No, I don't
Woods
want that. No,
with
I don't
being
want
one
that.
of the leading sports
No,
voices in
good
San Diego.
God. I don't want
What kind
this.
of irresponsible tier ones are you out there that would make Woods one of the leading sports voices in San Diego?
God, man. Pass. I don't want it. I never wanted it. Never. Just want to make people laugh and have a good time. That's it.
Greatness is often not sought. It is thrust upon.
That's true. That's true. It's a massive responsibility.
So you got to be careful with that. 833-288-0973.
It's funny because at the end of the day, you know who doesn't look bad? Fernando Tatis does not look bad. This guy looks like the bitter clown.
But like Matt said, if Fernando then gets into his comments,
that's it.
And replies, it's not going to go. It's not going to look good.
Sometimes, and we know this lesson very well. Sometimes you can't respond. Sometimes you see things that are untoward. Sometimes you see things and go, "Oh, that looks familiar," but you can't say anything because then you're the soft one, right? So you just gotta wear it and move on with it. And again, Fernando, if he keeps putting up numbers and having at bats like he has so far, he's going to be fine. I do not worry about that kid one bit. The only time I ever worry about Fernando Tatis Jr. is when he's not playing baseball. On the baseball field, I have no worries, no questions about what he's able to do. Going to support him 1,000%. He's a good kid. He's a good player. We talked to Tim Haggerty yesterday. What did Tim say? Dude, this guy was out there signing autographs 10 minutes before he's supposed to be in the batter's box. I'm sure there were people driving, rolling their eyes going, yeah, he needs to focus more. He needs to get locked in. But listen, we've seen that from that kid since the day he got here. So he's a good kid. He made a mistake. Everybody's made 1,000 mistakes. I'm not going to rake the kid over the coal for the next 15 years.
I'm only bummed that he can't be up here helping the offense right now. They could use a little power surge, and he seems to be locked in already at AAA. So, got 18 more games, or what are we at? Even less than that at this point.
6th. I mean, 14 days.
14 days
2 weeks
until
from
he
tonight.
is eligible to return, assuming no rainouts or postponements beyond
It's a big
April
assumption.
20th.
Big assumption,
It
I
is.
think.
It is, although so Saturday seems to be the day that is most in question in Atlanta this weekend, both for the Padres and for the Masters. They could just make it up with a doubleheader on Sunday, and then nothing really changes in terms of the schedule for Fernando Tatis Jr.'s return. But we'll see as we get a little bit closer this weekend to what's going on with Fernando there. And Padres, of course, open a 4-game series this evening. 4:20 first pitch today. Blake Snell on the mound for the second time this season, first since his opening day start against Spencer Strider of the Atlanta Braves, as the first road trip gets underway. And it is I mean, it's a good early season litmus test here, Woods, for the Padres, as they're facing two teams that both expect to be in the postseason this year, in the Atlanta Braves and the New York Mets, two teams that they may have to face again in October if they ultimately want to get and win the World Series, teams that they're probably going to have to get past at some point. Now, they'll be doing it without Fernando Tatis Jr. They'll be doing it in April, and things obviously will look quite different 6 months from now. At the same time, I'm not going to diminish the importance of these games as well. You want to go out and put together a nice road trip here starting tonight in Atlanta.
Yep, and Blake Snell, look, every start for Blake Snell this year is going to be an important one. Every single one. We need Blake Snell to go out every time he starts. I'm like, you know what we need to see? Efficient. He needs to be efficient. It's not going to happen. I need to just shut up.
Throw some strikes. Get ahead of batters.
He's going to go 3-2 to every guy. I'm going to be a nervous wreck about it. We'll be 15 beers in.
5 1/3 with 8 strikeouts and
one walk. God, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop asking for efficiency.
Monday morning, we're like, was it a good start?
It was
it
a bad start.
I don't know. I mean, it's pretty good.
I'm done asking for efficient Blake Snell. I'm just done. I'm not going to do it anymore.
He's certainly on track to be one of the strikeout leaders in Major League Baseball this year if he keeps throwing like he did on opening day. I mean, the stuff is obviously always there. I guarantee you that the Atlanta Braves are not looking forward to facing Blake Snell today.
He's not comfortable.
Even if they find a way to get some base runners and put some runs on the board, it's not a fun at-bat at all.
Not a comfortable
for opponents of Blake Snell. All guests on Ben and Woods appear on the Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad fan hotline. Save money the right way with Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad. Visit them today in the Carlsbad Auto Mall. Chevrolet, find new roads. All right, one very chilly hour in the books here from Rancho Bernardo Inn, although the sun is up, and it is going to be a spectacular day here for the Ben and Woods Open. Looking forward to seeing you all out there. Out here, we're going to be back. I'll give you a Masters update. It's Thursday. We can play a little real or fake when we come back as well. So we'll get a contestant. Haven't qualified anyone for the trip to Las Vegas yet this month, so this is a great chance, especially if you don't want to have to beat Woods on Take on Woods. Here's your opportunity. Coming up next, don't go anywhere. It's Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Open. We are live at Rancho Bernardo Inn. The sun is up, still on the chilly side. I sent our promotion lady and I said, go inside, warm up. We are fine for a little while. You don't have to sit out here and freeze to death. We already have some people arriving for our early wave that's getting started. Meeting some of our great sponsors today. Thank you so much to everybody who's come out to support the Ben & Woods Open. We got some great raffle prizes. I want to talk about those in a couple of minutes as well.
Just up at the registration booth during the commercial break. We are like 2 minutes away from sending off the first wave.
What already?
Yeah.
My
the
God.
carts are loaded up. Everyone's got their swag bag. Dude, I looked at the swag bag.
They're sick?
Everything looks sick.
Does it? Oh, that's so good.
Got
Makes me so happy.
Special treats from our girl Annie.
Yes, she made
FBG Bakes.
She made Ben & Woods pound cake. And the best part is what you'll the best part is the cake,
It looks
but
unbelievable.
the packaging looks phenomenal, and it actually has a little
Look at that.
has a little Ben Higgins face sticker on there. Did you ever think that you would have?
Well, you can't see it on the YouTube stream, but right behind us is the sign. It says "Welcome to Pound Town" right here for the Ben & Woods Open. Behind us, that you're going to see as you come up the 18th fairway to the 18th green right here behind us at Rancho Bernardo Inn.
Whoa, what a day!
Just fantastic.
The boss is here. Adam, good morning.
Hi, Adam.
How's it going? The Falcons play here today.
You wore a Falcons hat the day we play the Braves, huh? Okay.
Interesting.
You're the brand manager for the Padres flagship?
Yes. It's a Falcons hat.
It's really the only hat I have.
You need me?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, go
all
on,
right,
go
I'm
on.
gonna kick 'em off.
Go on. You
MC
start everybody. Woods is going to kick
MC
everybody off, and that
Woods.
gives me a chance to talk about the Masters a little bit with
All
Paulie
right,
down
I'm
here.
gonna go with Woods, I think.
All right, so I can just I'll hold here and
No,
say
I'll
you don't want to
sit
talk
with
about the
you.
Masters with me. So they're just underway still. We got a few golfers who are wrapping up their front nine. No one's beyond 1 under par. You got a large group right now. Mike Weir, Scott Stallings, Louis Oosthuizen, Kevin Kisner, Adrian Maronk, Keith Mitchell, Patrick Reed, and Sahith Thagala are all at 1 under par currently at the Masters. And Patrick Reed, of course, is one of the live golfers who is participating. It's the first time we've seen these guys all together in a tournament since the majors last year, really. And that's kind of one of the big subplots at the Masters this year is how will these live golfers fare in their return to competition against the PGA Tour stars who remained loyal to the PGA Tour and are still playing. Is their competition level going to be suffering because they're playing in, these short shotgun tournaments and not as often as they were on the PGA Tour? Will their form carry over, or, will they, finish back in the pack and further damage the credibility of the Live Golf Tour? Now, if a guy like Patrick Reed or Cameron Smith or Brooks Koepka comes out and wins, or, a bunch of guys finish top 5, it gives a jolt of credibility to Live Golf that I think that circuit badly needs. So there's kind of a undercurrent to this entire tournament. Not that the whole endeavor collapses, but if none of these guys play well,
was that ever in
doesn't look good.
question? Was that really ever in question though? Because they went and got a lot of really good golfers. There was no lack of credibility on who they had playing. It was more the backers, the tournament itself.
Yeah, I mean, part of it obviously is where's the money coming from, but I would say the majority of the golfers are kind of over past their prime. Phil Mickelson, Ian Poulter, they were stars 10 years ago and now they're past their prime. The only big, huge stars of right now, Cameron Smith, obviously. Dustin Johnson is still, late in his prime. Brooks Koepka, who went through, a big amount of struggles, but is playing better right now and has won a couple of live tournaments recently, is still there. Bryson DeChambeau. But after that, I think there's kind of a drop-off in terms of the big names. I mean, Pat Perez, has been a non-factor on the PGA Tour for several years. He went for the payday. A lot of guys just went for the payday, not because they're, wanting to reinvigorate their golf game or, looking for better competition. You're going to find the best competition still on the PGA Tour. I don't think anyone, even the live golfers, if they're being honest, are going to say that their competition is as tough as what they're going to face on the PGA Tour. So I think there is some pressure on these guys to represent. And if they perform poorly in the majors this year, starting with the Masters this week, it's just going to further justify people like me who say, I don't really need to watch live golf. It's not, I've got enough sports on my table right now. I'm still watching the PGA Tour. I don't need to add, kind of a weird shotgun, format, tournament, team golf. I'm having trouble kind of understanding and getting into that as well. They're really trying to make a big deal about these teams, the high flyers and the aces and whatever, like they're the Padres or they're the Rams or whatever. Hey, this will be like your favorite sports team, and you cheer for these four guys as your favorite team. And they can make trades in the offseason, and they're trying to create this intrigue, like, the general manager, which is usually the best player on the team, whether it's like a Phil or a Brooks, can deal players in the offseason or sign better players, for their roster. That's not what golf is to me. So I'm having trouble wrapping my head around wanting to see any more of this from the Live Tour golfers.
Totally.
All right, looks like Woods has gotten everybody off for our early wave, our early golf getting going.
How'd it go?
In the morning?
Great.
As he returns.
There they go.
Yeah. There they go. Off they go behind us in their carts to their assigned tees on the holes around the course.
Woo, let's hear it.
Yeah.
Welcome to Pound Town.
Well, I was just decrying how shotgun starts aren't real golf on the Live Tour. So yeah, I was. So now, of course, we're doing a shotgun start right here for our. Well, it's our Ben and Wood Scramble. So maybe that makes my point. If your professional golf tournament is run similarly to the Ben and Woods Open,
it's not.
It might not be the most serious of professional golf events.
It's got to, for those guys, though, it's got to be better than waiting around for your start time all day, right?
Well, some guys, like the early starts, or if you're. I love the fact that if you're in contention and it's Saturday or Sunday,
you got to wait.
Then you wait. You're the last tee time. Everyone has to go out before you. I think it's one of the great things about golf, and they've completely neutralized that on the Live Tour. They don't do that, because everyone starts and finishes at the same time. I think it actually sucks a lot of the drama out of a golf tournament, rather than they thought, everyone's playing at the same time. You can kind of follow everyone wherever they are on the leaderboard, makes sense. To me, it's the opposite. It sucks the drama out of a golf tournament.
This is phenomenal, man. Everyone's up there ready to go. So cool. So appreciative of our friends at Rancho Bernardo Inn having us out here. It is a beautiful, beautiful morning.
My whole rant started because Patrick Reed's one of the guys tied for the lead right now, one under at the Masters, and I was saying how the Live golfers have a lot of pressure because they need to show that they can still compete against these other guys to give their tour some credibility right now. All right, I got a Masters-themed real or fake. That's not going to surprise anybody. We got a contestant. Let's get to it.
Some are here for the compelling sports talk with Ben and Woods. You can go plow through another donut. It's time for Real or Fake on 97.3 The Fan. Tell the people what they'll win today.
All right, we're going to try to get Jocelyn in Oceanside qualified for our grand prize drawing this month. There's a trip to the Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino, 2 nights, plus tickets to see Barry Manilow in concert, 14 years performing at the Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino. It's breaking Elvis's record at the property. See all of his favorites like Mandy and Copacabana. All you have to do is get 4 out of 7 right. Good morning, Jocelyn. How are you?
Good morning, guys.
All right, good news.
Awesome.
Good news. You don't really need to know anything about golf to win Real or Fake today, but here's your category. Did you know that every hole at Augusta National has a name? Today on Real or Fake, I'll give you an idyllic-sounding Southern name. You tell me if it's a real hole name at Augusta National or a fake I have made up for our game. Jocelyn, you can ask Woods for help if you'd like. Are you ready to play?
Let's go.
All right, round 1. Redbud. Real or fake? Redbud.
Real.
It is real. That's the 16th hole. The par 3 is Redbud. That's 1 correct. Woods, what do you think?
Real.
Yeah, real. All right, round 2. Carolina Cherry. Real or fake, Jocelyn? Carolina Cherry.
That sounds real.
It is real, yeah. It's the 9th hole. What's the surprise? His mouth is agape.
Also an adult film star.
It's kind of funny. All right, round number 3. Flowering Peach. Real or fake,
You
Jocelyn?
sound so dirty when you say them. Every one of these sounds disgusting when you say it.
Let's go real.
That is real, too. That's the third hole at Augusta National. All right, let's go round 4 here, Jocelyn, for the win. Golden Bell. Real or fake, Jocelyn?
Why not keep going with this? I'm going to say real.
It is. It is the famous
Unbelievable.
12th hole, the par
Wow.
3 over
Wow.
Rays Creek, Golden Bell. And just like that, Jocelyn, you have qualified for our getaway to Las Vegas. Congratulations. Stay on the line. Italian Paul, get all your details and information if he hasn't already. And good luck to you at the end of the month in our grand prize drawing. Woods, would you care to try the
Sure.
rest of them? Pecan Grove.
Fake.
Fake. Very good. Georgia Pine.
Fake.
Fake. And Rays Bend.
That's
Real.
It's Rays Creek.
Rays Bend.
Is Rays Bend, is that real?
No, it's fake.
Oh, fake.
Yeah, Gary knew all of them.
Is
Now,
it-
your dad's
Is it Rays?
your dad's
Isn't
been-
there
no,
Rays
it is
Creek?
Rays Creek is the name of the little
There we go.
stream that runs through the course.
That's former Major League Baseball player Andy Perino teeing off first in the tournament. Absolute missile down the right side.
You can zoom in on the YouTube
you,
channel.
you can speak in hushed tones like you're a real
like
golf
I'm
broadcaster.
Jim Nance.
It's never been your dream like it's been my dream to be a golf broadcaster.
I love Andy. It's a good dude. Holy cow. All right, good.
It is chilly.
It is chilly. So Paulie's got the screen. If you're watching on YouTube, you can actually see the
That
guys
is
teeing
the
out.
first tee right
Oh,
there.
those tee boxes are up so far. Holy cow. All right.
Yeah, you wanted everyone to play the whites. We want a
I
low
didn't.
number. I think
I didn't.
I think the winning score is going to be close to 18 under par
Oh, yeah.
today. I
Yeah.
mean, if you don't birdie pretty much every hole, maybe even mix an eagle in here or there.
Yeah, you're going to be.
I think it's
out
going
of
to be
contention.
it's going to be tough winning this. Go out and have a great time. Obviously,
Somebody's going to write 21 under anyway. So
it's
it doesn't really
not like
matter.
we're giving away $100,000 to the
Right,
winner
right,
here.
yeah.
It's more about having fun,
raising
and
money,
enjoying, win some prizes in our raffle afterwards.
Yep.
You don't have to be good at golf to do that. I'll tell you about some of our raffle prizes when we come back as well. More Ben and Woods live from Rancho Bernardo Inn.
Come on down here.
Yeah, come on down. You can enter the raffle, I think.
Yeah.
There's no reason why you have to be playing
Bring
to
cash.
enter our raffle.
Bring
So,
cash with you.
yeah, come buy some raffle tickets, and I'll tell you about those prizes when we come back after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
107.3 The Fan.
All right, Ben Woods continuing live here from Rancho Bernardo Inn
It's
at the
getting
Ben Woods
colder.
Open.
Yeah.
It is actually getting colder. I agree with that assessment.
Ooh.
The sun is up and the temperature is down here this morning. We're enjoying some breakfast burritos from Sombrero's Mexican Food right now, one of our great
So good.
sponsors here. Those are clutch at this moment. Definitely needed that.
Yeah.
Little pick-me-up. We just sent off the first wave of golfers, which is fantastic. But for Don't Do This Today, I just want to follow up on a lot of discussion we had yesterday, obviously, about Manny Machado and his pitch clock violation.
Yeah.
And everything that happened, because we saw yesterday in Major League Baseball, Shohei Ohtani set a record, becoming the first player ever to get both a pitch clock violation as a pitcher
Yes.
when he actually threw too fast and was assessed with a ball, and get one as a batter as well, an automatic strike. And you know, now it's Manny Machado and Shohei Ohtani, a couple of the biggest stars of the game,
Tim Anderson yesterday got run as well.
who've been dinged. And again, it feels to me like the benefits have been, I think, overwhelming with the rules, but there must be a better way to enforce them without having so many of these called. I don't want to see as many of these violations called. And I'll go back to what I think I said yesterday, is that there needs to be a bit of a warning system somehow in place where you can still enforce the pitch clock, but it's not going to impact the outcome of games. Now, the Angels did end up winning that game. Shohei Ohtani got his first win of the season, 4-3 yesterday. So ultimately the Angels ended up winning. But to me, you know, we're seeing an outsized impact, a little bigger than I thought already early this season with those pitch clock rules.
I mean, look, and these games are in April, and while they still count and are very important, they've got to get it ironed out, Ben, before, you know, it gets down to August, September, October. And, you know, there are still people on the side of the umpires, the side of Major League Baseball, that say, hey, you know, the rules are in place. I'm sorry, it's not that black and white. It's just not, clearly. When you see a man hold his hand out for time and doesn't get granted time, then it's no longer black and white. And Tim Anderson got rung yesterday. Again, Tim Anderson is a guy I pay money to go to the ballpark to watch play. He's phenomenal. And he gets ejected from a game because he, again, tried to call time, was not granted. Why not? Why wasn't it granted? This is not baseball. This is not baseball.
I certainly understand
It pisses me off.
You don't want to have some umpires who are enforcing the rule and others,
Of course,
who are not,
but they're
and you have
umpires.
no idea what's going to be happening in the game. So you do want some consistency. I'm simply saying that you can alter the rules. No one is forcing you to keep these rules exactly as they are, even for a full season or a half season. I get it that there's almost a, you know, you're admitting failure if you change them this early. I don't think it should look like that, though. I think they should be proactive in adjusting a little more often and a little more readily now that they're seeing what the impact is. Hey, the games are plenty short now.
Yes.
You know, it's not
Some
like,
say too short.
yeah,
Yes.
it's not as though that it's going to instantly go back to 3-hour and 20-minute games if you loosen up on the enforcement of these rules a little bit. If you add a warning, an extra warning for batters and pitchers each inning before you actually throwing out balls and strikes, you know, potentially handing a pitcher a strikeout or handing a batter a walk that they didn't totally earn, you're impacting the game too much.
Sucks.
Giving out stats that weren't actually, you know, earned at the plate or on the mound when you're doing that. And I've seen too much of that early in the season.
It's such a big assumption that Zach Gallen's going to strike out Manny Machado. It's a big assumption. And you gave him a strikeout. I thought baseball we're so sacred with our rules. We got to protect all of our stats. And you're doling out free strikeouts and charging people with walks and things like that.
You can't completely make it toothless, or players will just go back to doing what they want to do and taking as long as they want, and you'll lose all the effectiveness. So there still has to be enforcement mechanisms. I'm simply saying that there can be a little more leeway, or there can be a warning system in place that at least delays the impact of those enforcements.
I hate it. I hate when this happens. I hate when Tim Anderson gets thrown out of a baseball game. I hate when Manny Machado gets thrown out of a baseball game. That's not good for baseball. That's not. Oh, well, he said a bad word. Okay, he's an adult. They're adults out there.
So is the umpire.
So is the umpire. It's a grown man.
Yeah.
Not a little kid.
Yeah.
I have a do this, Ben.
Oh, good.
Do you have another don't
do
this?
No,
okay.
I'm good. Yeah.
I thought this was a pretty good story for do this. The White Sox pitcher Liam Hendricks has just finished his cancer treatment
Nice.
and got to celebrate by ringing the bell yesterday. It was very, very grueling 5 months of treatment, his non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And, man, he went in there and kicked its ass, and hope to see him back on the mound. He's a really good character for the game of baseball. Australian, very, very salty mouth. They had him mic'd up. I think it was the All-Star game. You're like, buddy, it's the All-Star game. Relax. And
do they have different curses down there, or do they have the same ones?
No, it's the same, just a different accent.
Okay.
Yeah. Same, but a different accent. But yeah, he is. I
always kind of didn't get that because, like in England, if you say bloody, it's essentially the F word here. That's what I've been told. Like,
I don't know that I agree with that.
I mean, I don't know a ton about it, but I've been told that that's like one of their really. That's one of their really, like, bleep out kind of bad
bloody
words. Yeah, bloody.
Bollocks.
Bollocks. That one's a fun.
That's fun.
That one just seems soft and fun.
I think we can curse on the radio as long as we do it in other.
Yeah, I'll even curse in English.
You will?
Yeah.
So if the word bloody means the F word, you won't say the F word.
But I'll say bloody.
Why? They're just
know.
words.
It's the
same word. Oh my god.
There's our boss. Hey Adam, can we curse on the radio if it's in another language?
Yeah, like bollocks, bloody no.
He says bloody
no. I don't know that that's the case. What needs a real Englishman? Come here for a second. You look like my 2-year-old son.
Thank you very
Taylor
much.
right now.
I went through all of my tissues already. I had an entire thing of them.
Come here, Tay. Daddy gets you. Come here. There we go. All right. I can handle snot with the best of them. I am not changing your diapers. That is don't and do this, Italian Paul.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Right. Sorry about your Mets, by the way, Italian Paul. Not a good start.
So you're not.
I am sorry. It turns out you guys didn't need a closer anyway because you get blown out by like 9 runs. What do you even need a closer for?
They didn't lose again yesterday, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that's the only solace I'm taking from the start of this season is that all of our losses have not been because of the back end of the bullpen, and nothing Edwin Diaz would have done changed that.
Unless Edwin Diaz can, scratch out a few hits and drive in some runs, I think, at this point, you have bigger fish
I think
to
the
fry.
funniest part, though, is the Milwaukee Brewers are doing some of this damage.
Yeah.
And they're already saying that I think owners are unhappy because they're ready to sell off.
They want to tank.
They want to trade their players.
Yes,
and it's
like,
like,
damn it!
If you're playing well, we're not going to be able to trade Corbin Burns for minor leaguers like we wanted to later this season.
It's the old Giants
Stop playing so well. You're messing up our 5-year plan by playing well right now.
The old Farhan bit. I'm telling you, you've never seen a GM more upset to win 107 games in his life. He's like, damn it! It messes up the entire plan. So, but yeah, Mets in the chamber right now. Fully expect them to be there at the end of the season, though. I wouldn't be too concerned if I was a Met fan. Just like I'm not too concerned as a Padre fan being 3-3.
No. Padres start their road trip tonight, first of the season.
Ooh.
Chance for guys to come together on the road.
Yeah.
That's an important part of a growing process for any roster, and getting their first road trip under their belt. Not an easy landing though with the Braves and the Mets coming up.
Tough, man.
We just talk about the Mets not playing well, but that's not going to last forever.
And like I said, you don't want to be the team that they get it right against.
No.
That's for sure. So they're going to need to play. Look, the Padres are going to need to play a much crisper brand of baseball than they've been playing. Defense has been a little bit suspect this year, as we kind of feared that it would be, and it's not glaring. They like those 2 plays last week. They changed Carpenter's from an error to a hit. I think there was another play as well that they changed. It's little things, though. It's Juan Soto throwing to the wrong bag, letting a guy, advance into scoring position. These little sloppy things are happening. They actually, at 3-3, have looked pretty sloppy defensively.
They have.
They got to clean it up more than I expected. Yeah, I mean, I expected it, but
and you do have Soto in a new position essentially this year, moving from right to left field, and
yes, you do. You know what base to throw to. You learn that little. He knows what base to throw to.
They have good defensive players, though. That's the thing. That fundamentally, I think the Padres are filled with mostly good defensive players. They should be a good defensive team.
Yeah.
probably
just a little sloppy.
better than average. But yeah, they've
Just
started the year
A little sloppy.
not playing the most crisp baseball that we've seen. The pitchers have been a little bit off, especially the bullpen. So yeah, we've yet to see the best of the Padres, and they're sitting 3-3.
Yeah,
it's not. It's not a disastrous start. They're not at 0-6. We're not wondering, oh my goodness, what's going on with the San Diego Padres. They still aren't hitting on all cylinders, but we're still 1 week, from the start of the season. Opening day was 1 week ago today.
1 week ago
Got
today.
a long way to go in this season. All right, we got a long day ahead of us here at the Ben & Woods Open. I want to tell you when we come back about some of the great raffle prizes you'll see if you're coming out here, some of the great donors, sponsors at our Ben & Woods Open. Got to thank a lot of people. Get to that coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. I think it may be a degree warmer than it was 5 minutes
Yes,
ago.
1 degree warmer, indeed.
1 whole degree.
The crazy thing is this afternoon we're going to be warm.
Yeah,
It's going to be a
shirts
beautiful
off,
day.
Yeah,
I don't know that they're coming off, but it'll be a nice day.
Sweatshirts off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all played short sleeve yesterday. I can't even talk. My mouth's frozen.
No problem.
We played in short sleeve yesterday. God. Hi, Jay Bird. It's chilly, huh?
Jake,
God.
come over here.
Hey, shut up.
Look into
Yep.
that camera.
Say
and just
hi to
wave.
everybody.
Yo, P-word.
Jay Isbell has done a phenomenal
there it
job.
is.
The best.
He is
Done it
the
without
tournament director, Jay Isbell, getting everything set up for today, and it looks fantastic around here. I've got the list of some of our raffle prizes, and I wanted to thank everybody who donated. We have some spectacular donors who have set up a terrific raffle, and I don't know what is considered the grand prize, but we do have a Padres suite.
That's pretty big,
which is pretty good to give
pretty
away
good
for a game later this season. 10-pack in a suite, 2 different ones that I believe we're giving away in our raffle prize today. So you want to make sure you get your raffle tickets in for your opportunity to win that. But a lot of other great prizes as well. You've got dinner for 2 here at Veranda, which is where we were inside there yesterday. Beautiful at the Rancho Bernardo Inn.
So nice.
Got a bunch of other restaurant gift certificates. Paulie got Ponce's restaurant gift card package. Ponce's is great. Includes also a bottle of Maestro de Bel tequila, T-shirt, a hat, a pint glass, and a $100 gift card, all in a tote bag. My friend John Ashworth at Link Soul, $100 gift card, and a foursome for Goat Hill Park. It gets you up to the goat. One day you can win that prize. We have $100 from the Regal Seagull plus merchandise. We've got $100 from Bottle Rocket to pick that up. My friend Eli gave that to us downtown. A great spot for before the game in the East Village. If you haven't checked it out, it is fantastic. Pacific Coast Grill, $100 gift card for dinner right there on the beach in Cardiff. We've got an Encinitas bar hopping package from First Street Bar and Grill and Lucadian that you can win with gift cards as well. Let's see what else we've got here.
Great place to black out during a Padres
It
playoff
is.
game.
It is.
Yep.
We've done that before. Now I thought we had one wetsuit to give away from Excel, which is a phenomenal prize. If you know wetsuits, they're not cheap. You can get one that fits you perfectly, but we actually have 2 of them.
Beautiful.
That we're going to be raffling away.
Nice.
My friend Mike came up big time and donated 2 certificates to get hooked up with real wetsuits. We could be wearing them right now and be nice and toasty.
We would be much warmer than we are right now. I'll tell you that.
You guys are going to demonstrate how they look right on your first shots today.
I would do anything to watch Ben in a wetsuit take a swing with
Just
the
Ben
driver.
teeing off in a wetsuit.
And by the way, if you're coming out and you want to buy raffle tickets, you do need to bring cash. Yes, cash is king. Cash and what? Mulligans. Cash. Oh, and for mulligans. We're going to do mulligans? Okay. And cash for mulligans and for raffle. So bring your cash with you. We are not Petco Park. We are not cashless. Petco is now cashless. Your
we
cash
don't
is no
have the
good
same
there.
system here. Where your cash is good here at the Ben & Woods Open.
Your cash is absolutely good
and then we've got prizes, golf prizes to give away as well. A long drive closest to the pin. We've got a Cobra driver.
Two
We've
Cobra
got
drivers,
Cobra putters. We've got Callaway wedge with our logo on it in the raffle as well. That is a prize that Woodsy is ready to buy from whoever wins it.
Whoever wins it, I'll buy it from
because
you.
he really would like it, but it's going to be won by someone out here today. So some really amazing prizes that we've got coming here today at the Ben & Woods Open.
Yep, exactly right. So if you are coming out today, also you can come out later and hang out. I mean, probably finish up at around 5:36. Everyone's going to want to have a cocktail or two. So if you're getting off work, you want to swing by Rancho Bernardo Inn, you will hear us. You will see the party. You will hear the party. You will be the party. But it's going to be a long but very, very cool day. I'm so glad we were able to do this and pull this off. It seemed like it was never going to happen. Couldn't have done it without Jay Bird. Obviously, just knocked it out of the park. So, and thank you guys for bearing with us and putting up with this. So.
After the idea of the parade went out down like a lead balloon, the Aztecs have come up with a new plan.
Okay.
We'll tell you about it after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the premier Buick GMC of Carlsbad Traffic Center, part of the Premier Auto Family, here's Kelly Denick.
Traffic is sponsored by the all-new Premier Buick GMC of Carlsbad. Got a few things to watch out for in your travels. Stalled car in the center divide on northbound 805 before the 54. Also a collision involving several vehicles. Northbound side of the 15, right before Friars Road. Everything is over to the right shoulder. Premier Buick GMC of Carlsbad with all new 2023 GMC Sierra 1500 elevation package trucks. $4,000 off MSRP. Over 15 in stock to choose from. Stop in or shop online at carlsbadbuickgmc.com, a proud member of the premier Carlsbad family of dealers. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
I also want to mention some of our great sponsors as well. They're out on the golf course right now, and coming up at 8 o'clock, Woodsy and I are going to go out and hang with some of the people who have made this day possible and say hello to everybody, which means Braden Soprenant and Italian Paul are going to take over for a couple of hours back in the studio to keep it live and local here.
That's awesome.
But, which is great because I think we definitely owe a lot of people out there a big thank you and some FaceTime this morning.
Frank, don't go full New York on us, okay? Hey, these fraud SDSU fans.
What do you think about the Islanders? Oh! All right. I don't want to hear any of that.
So
you'll be fine on that. I know Mraz. I worked with Mraz a couple times. He's a interesting guy, very nice guy, but interesting.
Yeah, these freaking frauds out on the West Coast.
It's unbelievable. Well, at least he's getting the engagement he's desperately craved for a while. You're welcome, Mraz.
Hello, by the way, you're still in our chat, I think.
Is he in there? Oh my God, get out of there! Doesn't he live in like New York City? Isn't there something to do?
Is he on the air right now?
Like you live in New York, go do something. Go do something different.
So the idea of that parade that everyone seemed to disagree with, and San Diego State quietly scrapped the plans for a couple of days ago. They have come up with something I think works for everybody. They're calling it a celebration. It's going to happen on Saturday night now at Snapdragon Stadium. It's free parking and tickets, although they like FanFest, you have to kind of claim your free tickets beforehand. Register for them, and make sure you have a ticket. But they're going to come out, I believe, at 6:30, like a parade of all the players from the basketball team coming into Snapdragon Stadium. They're going to have speakers on the field, and you can go out, and if you want to show your thank you and appreciation for the San Diego State basketball team and their run to the championship game, you will get an opportunity to do that on Saturday night at Snapdragon Stadium.
Coming Saturday. Yeah. I mean, that's really the way it's done. And I have less than zero problem with that for those kids, man. They have earned it. And, it'd be nice to go out and celebrate those dudes.
Absolutely. And I think the players, when they talked to them, all felt like this is a more appropriate celebration than trying to do a parade and force something that didn't feel right for a team that came close but didn't quite win a championship.
Yep, I agree. Tonight is going to be a very, very difficult matchup for the San Diego Padres, Ben. Spencer Strider is on the bump for the Braves. That kid is really, really, really special.
He's a good pitcher.
He's a really good pitcher. Struck out 9 in his first start of the year. It's Blake Snell going up against Strider. This is a playoff type. It's 6 games in, man, or 7 games. This is the 7th game, but there's already going to be a feel of like, all right, these two teams could definitely meet in October. So should be fun, man. This is what you live for, and hopefully our guys are up to the challenge. And first time out of Petco Park, and time to get after it, and against a really, really stud young pitcher.
And you know what? Sometimes leaving home can sharpen you a little bit.
No doubt.
With all the, I don't want to say distractions, but certainly opening day comes with a certain set of, in front of all your fans and pressures that happen, that getting away from Petco Park and getting on that road trip can have an effect of sometimes locking a team in a little bit. I don't know what's going to happen tonight or on this trip, but I've certainly seen that in the past where you just got to get into the rhythm of the season a little bit, and it's hard to do that on the opening homestand of the season.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the lineups look like. Strider is, I don't know his splits or anything, but I can't imagine, I'm sure we're going to see a pretty healthy dose of the left-handers in the lineup tonight. Maybe a Rugi Odor again. It's weird that he's a guy I kind of look forward to watching him play baseball now. I kind of like what he brings to this team.
Yeah.
Don't know what his numbers are yet at all. I haven't even looked at his numbers, but I know that like the times I've seen him play second base, he looks like the most competent second baseman we have. He looks like that is just not an issue for him at all. I feel really comfortable with him there. What a nice spot to be able to sub in a guy like that, a left-handed bat who's got some pop as well. Kind of a sneaky, really good find so far for A.J. Preller off the scrap heap. These are typically moves that are made by other organizations. But man, so far so good with Ruge, and it gives you a nice long bench. David Dahl may get the look tonight against a tough right-hander. So I like that this lineup, Benny, can go either way. If it's a lefty on the bump, you've got a good crop of right-handers. And if it's a righty, you got a good crop of left-handers. It's really balanced.
I like to see how Bob Melvin has gotten everybody involved in the first
absolutely.
week of the season as well. Yeah, there are certain stars that you don't really want out of the lineup too often, but you're going to need every guy in the 26-man roster and more
and then some
over the course of the season. And if you just bury everyone on the bench for a couple of weeks,
right,
you really can't expect anything out of them when they come to the plate or have to get on the mound or play in the field at any point. And I think Bob Melvin has not just gotten guys in, but everyone's had some significant opportunities to contribute.
You said yesterday, it feels like every single person has done something. They've driven in a couple of runs. They made a big catch in Azokar's case. He's gotten a couple of knocks. Everybody is getting in, and everybody is contributing right now. There's always an argument to be made for consistency, but we just don't have a team, Ben, that's going to lend itself to a static lineup and a static defense. We just don't. That's not what this is, and really that's not how baseball operates very much anymore. They want guys that are movable and can give guys a day off their feet. So that's exactly what we have finally. And if they can go out and clean up the defense a little bit, it should be a really, really fun team for 157 more games.
Of course, we got the Masters underway, first round at Augusta National. First player to 2 under par, Adrian Moronk, is in the lead by one. Moronk in the lead by one stroke over
Frenchman?
A handful of golfers, I believe.
Moronk.
He's not French. That's not a French flag next to him. I really thought he was French, but
that is.
It's a white top and a red bottom, and I don't know which country actually that represents. Polish. He's Polish.
Polish.
Yeah,
all right. So Scott Stallings, Russell Henley, Sergio Garcia, Patrick Reed, Sahith Theegala, Seamus Power among the golfers who are at 1 under par as they get underway still early in the first round of the Masters at Augusta National.
Excellent.
And then, obviously people are going to be keeping an eye on Scotty Scheffler, who's probably the odds-on favorite going into the tournament as the defending champion. Rory McIlroy continues to need just the Masters to complete the career Grand Slam. He had that great Sunday run last year, but after his 2011 collapse on the back nine on Sunday, this is the one tournament that's kind of been in his head a little bit. He sounds, I heard him talking this week, sounds like he's in a bit of a better headspace. He comes here with more confidence, feeling like maybe he's exercised some of the demons. But Rory McIlroy is too good to not win a Masters.
No doubt.
At some point. I don't know if this is going to be the week or not, but to me, that's a big story at that tournament. Until he wins, he's always going to be a big story at Augusta National.
How's it looking out there, guys? Good?
Got people making the turn from 9 to 10 right now. Yep.
All right.
Coming around in our early flight.
See you soon.
At our Ben and Woods Open. Yeah, we'll head out there in a few minutes, and then everyone else, we're going to tee off when it's a little warmer this afternoon at 1 o'clock. Let me give you some advice. The 18th hole is right behind us.
Yes.
This course, you can score out there in a scramble especially. There are some birdies to be had. 18 is a bear, though. 18 to me is always one of the tougher holes in San Diego. It's a par 5.
Yep.
Monster.
It's not exceptionally long, and it's like 540, 530, somewhere around there. But it's uphill, especially the second and third shots. You're going up the hill.
Brutal.
There's a channel that goes across the middle of the fairway. And then as you come up, there's a water feature that comes all the way down on the left side where you're trying to lay up, and then it crosses right in front of the green, and then there's water all the way on the right. And if you miss, it'll roll right in there. Woods chipped into it yesterday.
I did.
And then the green is one of the toughest on the course because it's 3 tiers. And we've got the flag.
We should have put it in tier 1 today. That's where we should have put the flag.
Well, would you say that's tier 1 or tier 3?
If you look at it from that,
it's the highest. It's the highest tier, and then if you come to the front of the green, then tier 2, and then tier 3 at the bottom.
Tier 1 then.
Right now, it's at the highest tier 1 level of the green.
Pin placement today.
It's a Sunday pin position
to
be sure. That's a tough spot up there. So par. Yeah, I'd say you need birdies on most par 5s, but a par is not a horrible score on that hole, even in a scramble, because that is one of the tougher holes I think you're going to play in San Diego.
Yeah, no question about it. The whole course yesterday was really, really challenging. But, I love this, man. We got our clients out there teeing off right now. We're about to split for the day. Italian Paul is going to be broadcasting the next couple hours with Braden. We really appreciate you guys doing that.
Yep.
What's on the agenda today, Italian Paul?
New York radio. We're
New
going to
York
talk
radio,
the Islanders.
The Islanders, the
We'll figure something out.
the Knicks.
Just gonna scream at each other for 2 straight hours.
Knicks have a big
Italian American shows.
Italian American.
Talk about our guy DiMaggio, and we're
Yeah.
just gonna go down memory lane.
All right, whatever you get.
Montana's the greatest quarterback ever.
Just all the MJ versus LeBron, the whole bit today.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the whole 9 yards.
awesome, man.
All right, then we appreciate you guys stepping in because we definitely need to get some FaceTime with some of our great supporters here. And I think before we leave, there's so many people that we have to thank that helped us put together this day. Because if it was just you and me and Paul, there's no way we could just pull off something like this. It is much too massive of a scale. Why are you looking at me like that?
By you, me, and Paul, do you mean me and Paul?
Well, all of us could not pull off something like this at such a massive scale. So we have to thank a ton of people.
You're right.
Yes.
You are absolutely
We just
right.
mentioned Jay, who came down, our tournament director, who is running everything. We've got our program, our brand manager, Adam Klug, here. We appreciate the support.
Hey, man, it's Falcons hat.
He always offers for us. Got to thank our promotion staff that's come down again. We had them on opening day. They're back here from LA again, helping set up everything and keeping everything on track. We have to thank Annie, who made the pound cakes, who's here today, which is fantastic. That's going to be
pound
a
cake.
little extra treat. I've talked about some of the sponsors, the raffle prizes. I really have a big thank you. I know your wives have been very supportive. My wife, Shelly, went out and collected about 7 raffle prizes today from many of the restaurants in North County that are going to be some of the best prizes. She stepped up huge in this event, so big thank you to her as well. Megan's here with Paul supporting as well. Hannah's where's Hannah?
She's my caddy.
She's coming out.
She'll
Hannah.
be here
All
at 10.
right, good.
She had to get the kids to school.
Yeah, of course. You got to watch them as well. So thank you to everybody. We will be back on Monday morning, but we'll see you out here this afternoon at Rancho Bernardo Inn with Ben Woods on 97.3 The Fan. Let's do it.
Chris Ello here from Gwen and Chris. We'll